Hey guys, welcome back to Bunseog. This time we're going to be talking about Sip Jin. It's kind of a goofy form, there's some goofy movements. And once again, the whole point of this is not to create this perfect fighting system, but just to be a little bit more analytical and repurpose some of the movements in our forms and think about it almost like one steps, where you might not use every aspect of a one step, but you might use a part of it here and a part of it there and be able to apply it towards your self-defense in some way. And that's what we're doing today. So today we're going to be talking about Sip Jin. To begin with, I'm going to try to break this down into parts as much as possible, so I'll probably redo a couple sequences as I go on. But let's start at the beginning. He does a cross-collar grip here. This is very common. You see this a lot in judo and a lot of throwing circumstances, but especially in self-defense where he does what Kenny did here, where he starts pulling back this hand ready to punch me in the face. Guys like to do this to guys a lot, where they grab a throat or a collar or something, and they want to, hey, you get your meat hooks off me, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go 2-on-1, and we're going to punch this up. Now, while it's here, I'm going to swim this hand through because I don't want this right here. Because what I'm trying to do is I want to have my hand up too as I protect myself against anything incoming. So I'm going to pop this up. So that now I've got a barrier between us. I'm going to swim his hand through to start getting to an outside angle. And my first motion is here. So I'm going to pull it across in a 2-on-1. Let's show this from a different angle. Just facing this way. He has a 2-on-1 collar grip. I'm going to punch it straight up, swim the hand through, and step through. Now I'm in this 2-on-1. Now from right here, normally we do this spear hand, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to use this as an opening motion to let go. My right hand now does a spear hand where I'm going to push onto his shoulder, double punch. See how it posts here? As Kenny tries to turn back into me, it's a barrier. And this is what I want to open me up for the punching. You'll notice how now he ends up in the perfect position where I am able to grab a wrist or grab an elbow so that as this arm starts coming up and getting in the way and I start feeling threatened by it, I grab it, I step through to my to my full mountain block. As I come all the way up and I pull this across. Now I'm going to grab his hair and I'm going to grab his wrist and pull it back to chamber as I punch through into this motion, applying my arm. This is going to apply a nice little arm bar right across his chest. The key is I got to step in the front. So let's do this all again so you guys can see it here. Once again, I'm going to do it from the front view so you get a better angle on it. Move over this way so we're more in camera frame. 2-on-1. Punch up, swim the wrist through, and punch it across. Now you'll see how I'm in a pretty safe spot so that I'm pretty out of the danger. But I want to move him forward a little bit so that I have better access to strike him. So I'm going to punch this forward as I release, and I'm going to do my post here. As he tries to turn back into me, double punch. I step through and I grab into my full mountain block. As I pull this across, I grab his hair, and as I start to punch him out, I'm going to pull this across into my arm bar. So that's going to be part number 1. All right guys, in part 2, now we've ended up in this position where we have the arm bar and we're pushing his head out with this hair, right? So what I want to do from here is I'm going to try to throw him across my hip. And all I'm going to do is pop my hip like I'm doing Taekwondo. As this happens, I don't get it. So I'm going to pull him across, switch hands, step through, and elbow him into the face. Now, we're going to do the same thing the other way so that you guys can get a better view of it from the opposite side. I step through. I attack the arm. I pop his hip trying to throw him, but I don't get it. So I'm going to grab here, switch my hands, step through, elbow strike. Now you'll notice I end up behind him again. So I'm going to slide down to the arm on the 2-on-1. Let's move over this way so we stay in frame. And from right here, I'm going to punch it out to keep in this position where he cannot access me. As I walk him forward, I let go and I post. As he tries to turn into me, pop, pop. I grab and I step through into my full mountain block. I'm going to grab his hair as I pull his wrist across and apply my arm bar across my stomach. Now ideally, as I do this, I want to try to throw him. But if I don't get it, no problem. I step through just like we do. So in the form, it becomes 1, 2, 3, here, mountain block, and this becomes our break on the arm. Then I step through, back to center. You notice how we end up? Same sequence. So that's part number 2. Okay guys, so part 3, we're going to start facing this way so you can get an angle on it. I just got done going here and elbowing this guy in the head. So now we're going to turn back and we're going to grab the 2-on-1. And once again, we're doing this from another direction. You can see here how I stay in a safe position as I let him go. Then I post on his shoulder. Double punch. He's turned into me this time. I do my low knife hand strike. Now, I see this hand starting to come up. I step forward into an ikkyo, an arm lock. I don't know the Hapkido name for it. I only know it from when I took Aikido, so you'll have to bear with me. All you guys who are going, Japanese and Korean don't mix, well, too bad. Grow up. So here, he turns to face me. I'm going to turn this way so you can see it. I've done the ikkyo. Ha. I do my arm attack. He turns to face me, and he pushes me. Here, and I'm going to stay on top for top control. So once again, one movement. He draws back his hand to hit me again. Same thing. And we're going to stop right there. I'm going to show this one more time. So, I turn 2-on-1 on the wrist. I punch it forward and I let go and I post. He turns around, double punch, step through, low groin. He starts to come up with that hand and I come through to my ikkyo. He turns to face me. Push, 1, 2. He turns to push and he goes to punch again. Here. And I end up into this arm lock again. Okay? That's the next part. Okay guys, I'm going to back up a little bit because this next sequence I want to make sure it's all in frame. I'm going to try to show it from a couple different angles though. So we end up here. Into our arm bar here. Now, from right here, I'm going to front kick him in the face and he tries to pull out and my arm straightens out. So now I front kick and I draw back in a Kotegaeshi type motion. He draws it back. I front kick and then I'm going to step in here and back fist him. The whole point of my coming here is so that then I can step back into this as I come into this motion here. So let me show this from another angle here. And face this way. I've done my arm bar. From right here, I front kick him in the face. He tries to escape, and this is what causes this punch-out motion. I'm going to front kick him, step into my Kotegaeshi. He draws back. I front kick him. I come underneath into the outside so that now I can grab the arm, step through, and start coming down to here. Okay? So that's the next part. Okay guys, so in this last segment, we just finished with this arm bar where we got me here and I brought him all the way to his knees. So now we go into this motion here. Well, this is going to be our collar choke. As he starts to come up, I'm going to get an inside collar and an inside collar, and I'm going to draw it back into my straight collar choke. Now from right here, I punch this out, and as I step through, I'm going to knife hand right to his throat. Now, from here, he's trying to get back up, but I'm not going to let him. Ha! As I step through. He starts to come up. Ha! As I step through again. Let's show that one more time. We get in our arm bar. I get him all the way to his knees. He starts to come back up, and I get my cross collar choke right here. I punch it out. I step through, pop, into my knife hand. He's trying to regain his balance, but I'm not going to have that, so pop. He tries to get up again, pop. And that's how we finish the form. And that's Sip Jin. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. Come on up, Kenny. I want to thank Kenny for helping me out. As always, he's a great UK for this stuff. So thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I enjoyed making it. It's making us all better. If you have ways that you want to see this done or that you think you can improve on this, send it my way. Throw it in the comments, guys.